Hi everyone, this is my 5th book Nook completion, and I have to say this one was a bit of a challenge, but in the end I really enjoyed the build. Right away, one thing I noticed was that it's physically smaller than the other book Nooks I've done. The smaller size definitely didn't make things easier. Unlike some of the previous kits, this one didn't include any die-cut parts. Everything had to be measured, cut, or shaped by hand, which added an extra level of difficulty. All the parts came packed in a simple Ziploc bags, like the one shown here, and inside those bags was quite a variety, everything from wood and plastic pieces to beads, fabrics, wire, and even a few tiny pebbles. Now let's take a look at a couple of the challenges I ran into along the way. Take a look at this thing here called a flower pot at the beginning. What it has me doing is cutting pieces of string, and the string, as you see in the second box, happens to be doubled, and then I have to spread the string out into 2 strands because it's interwound, and then spread the strands out into these individual pieces of paper, and then roll them up, and then I'm supposed to cut them so that I make a lot of these little tiny things that are ultimately going to become roses. And here's the pot that you see down here. There's some wire stems, and then you take that pot and you put some foam in there that kind of makes it look like the green part, and you stick those wire stems in and then attach the roses onto the end, and that gives you that pot full of roses. So what you see here is what I ended up with that pot that supposedly had some roses in it. But you can see in relation to my fingers just how small this whole thing is. Here's one that's really going to challenge me. Putting together these window shades. As you can see on the left, there were some paper designs I had to fold in half, then cut out the individual shades, and now somehow I'm going to have to glue them into those frames. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that at this point, but that's going to be about the most detailed thing I've had to do so far. Well, I got them done, both of them. At least I got something in there, not very straight, but they were quite a challenge to put together. At least I made an effort to make it look like the shade had louvers in it and all that. What you see here is the left wall. Just after I installed it and before I closed it in, I thought I would take a few pictures of it so that I could show you what some of this looks like when it all comes together. You see in the lower right hand corner, you see that pot of roses that I described earlier, and also on the left hand side, lower under the awning, you see those shades that I had to put together. Basically everything you see in this picture had to be assembled in one way or another and glued together, including the sign that's up top above the window. The scroll work that you see above and below the sign was actually wire, and there was a printed template that I had to follow to bend the wire in the appropriate angle and size and all of that to glue it all together. Shown here is a glimpse of the final product with all the lighting in place and all the fixtures and so on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next build.